Genius.
December 15th, 2021. Halfcast 206, episode 206. Let's go. Happy Wednesday, you guys. Of course, I have a few things to share with you. An evening of reflection. Shall we? Woman says she poisoned boyfriend to shut him up. You're a little agitated, sweetheart. Why don't you take yourself a nap? I'm a grown-ass man, damn it. I go to sleep when I feel like it. You can't tell me what to do. Well, would you like something to drink while you watch the game, baby? Yeah, and make sure you put some ice in it. Here you go, sweetheart. A Florida woman told deputies she gave her boyfriend just enough poison in his lemonade to shut him up. How did she know how much was enough without previously testing it on him and perfecting the dosage over all this time and then called law enforcement so he wouldn't die? Isn't that sweet? According to a police report, deputies with the Jacksonville Sheriff's Office said Alvis Parrish, 54, put a psychotic drug in a lemonade of William Carter, with whom she had been living with for 9 years. Definitely not the first time she's done that to old Mr. Carter. On December 7th, she then called authorities. Oh yeah, well maybe she was a little heavy-handed on the batch this time. When deputies arrived at her home, she was on the front porch and said she did it because he wouldn't shut up, according to an arrest report. I gave him just enough to shut him up and called y'all so he wouldn't die, said Parrish, according to the arrest report. A deputy put her in handcuffs, and Parrish continued talking. Do whatever you want. If you don't take me, I will kill him, she said, according to the arrest report. The deputy reported she was speaking with a slur as if she was intoxicated. Sheesh, when a woman's fed up. Parrish also wrote out what she had done in a notebook, according to the arrest report. A deputy who talked to Carter, she got on his nerves so bad she had to consult a journal just to keep herself from killing him. A deputy who talked to Carter described him as extremely lethargic, but had difficulty interviewing him because he kept complaining about how tired he was. Yeah, she been giving you them lemonades for 9 years, and you never understood why you fell asleep so fast afterward. Carter, 61, told the deputy the lemonade tasted funny, but he said he did not know why. Parrish would give him the drug since he didn't usually take it. A bottle of lemonade deputies found had a powdery substance at the bottom. On a report, she put too much. Carter, please don't poison your husband. Carter at first didn't want to go to a hospital, but he was taken to an emergency room after he collapsed to the floor, saying he was not feeling well. Parrish is facing a charge of poisoning food or water with intent to kill or injure a person. He must have been color purple level annoying for her to just be giving him psychotics. She been giving him. There's no way you can't convince me that she wasn't doing that to him for at least the better part of that 9 years. She didn't just start doing that. She just got a little heavy-handed with the dose this time. Next up, if you like the show, don't forget to subscribe. Leave a comment. Let me know you're rocking with your boy. New Jersey woman search internet for info on shootings before killing husband. Cops say. No punk ass lemonade over here. We getting straight to the point. Monmouth County woman charged with murder in the shooting death of her husband on Monday performed several internet searches. No incognito? Really? On ammunition and gunshot wounds to the head. If you shoot someone in the head, will they die instantly? You really want that on your? I don't even want that on my browser history. Michelle Linsalone, 73, searched on her phone 22 minutes before calling 911 to report the shooting according to court documents filed in support of the murder charge. Well, at 73, you kind of waited a long time to figure out you wanted to get rid of your husband, right? Rocky V. Lenzalone, 74, who had been dealing with medical issues, was found dead Monday in the home. She couldn't wait him out. He must have been working her nerves. Damn, she couldn't wait him out either by sickness or by old age in the home the two shared on Borden Road in Middletown, according to Monmouth County Prosecutor's Office. Middletown Township Police Detective wrote in a probable cause affidavit that a search of Lenzalone's phone showed she visited a website titled "Do You Die Instantly from a Gunshot to the Head?" What was this, Reddit? She was on Reddit. Do you feel any pain at all? As early, oh, she cared enough. She didn't want him to suffer before she brutally murdered him. Yeah, as early as November 18th, Lenzalone allegedly used their phone to search for information on ammunition. One of those included are hollow point bullets, more powerful. The affidavit said that would be overkill, right? Hollow point bullets. Police said Lenzalone called 911 about 10:30 a.m. Monday to report she had accidentally shot her husband in the head while he was sleeping. She had what the come on, man. She advised the 911 dispatcher that she was playing with the gun and it went off and hit her husband. You shot your husband, and what the hell is you doing? What was this? The set of Goodfellas, but instead the gun discharged. When the dispatcher asked Lindsay Lohan if her husband was still alive, she responded, "So far, the I'm waiting. Hopefully, by the time you get here, you'll be able to bag him and tag him." But when police and EMS arrived, they found Rocky Lenzalone on the bed. His body was covered with a comforter, and a pillow was pressed against his head. The affidavit states, "This is please don't kill your husband." Michelle Lenzalone repeated that she had been playing with the gun by so you put a pillow over the man's head and played with the gun on the other side. When the officer asked what she meant by playing, what do you mean playing? He has a pillow over his head with a gunshot through it. She stated that she was aiming the firearm at her husband while he was sleeping. This is like Goodfellas. The affidavit states. She said she pulled the trigger believing the gun was unloaded even though there was a loaded clip in the firearm. The affidavit states Lindsay Lohan told police she kept a loaded gun in a drawer next to her bed for protection. The woman also told police she waited 20 to 30 minutes to call 911 because she was in shock and she wanted to get dressed and brush her teeth. What? Investigators spoke with two family members who said that Rocky Lenzalone had suffered several strokes in the past 2 years that rendered him disabled and required his wife to be his primary caregiver. The affidavit states family members stated that this appeared to take a toll on Michelle and she became resentful for this towards the victim. The affidavit states. So you see how this turns out to be a love story after all, children, because she didn't want to put him in a home. She didn't want to suffer uh, locking him away somewhere in a facility. So instead, she just decided to kill him. There is a lesson to be learned here. Damned if I know it, though. Next up, she met a guy on Facebook, then mowed him down outside her house. Cops say, Jesus Christ, this one right here is for you guys that think it's cute to be meeting up with these girls on the internet. This is the story. See those kids from the Bronx the other day, they're lucky that somebody just robbed them, which is very unfortunate, but at least they lived to tell the fucking tale. A Wisconsin woman is charged with first-degree murder after allegedly killing a man she had recently met online by stabbing him, then intentionally running him over, after which she circled the block and ran down the victim again. What did he do to make sure, or was she just nuts? To make sure he was dead. according to a criminal complaint filed by a Milwaukee County Circuit Court. Lydia Carmona Cartagena, 23, appeared in court Monday on charges of first degree intentional homicide. Intentional is putting it mildly. Use of a dangerous weapon. The 5 foot tall Carmona Cartagena, 5 feet of dynamite, has been arrested previously for felony domestic abuse. Oh, yeah, and remains jailed on $100,000 cash bond. She faces life in prison if convicted of the new charges. The gruesome incident occurred in the early hours of December 9th. The complaint states the gruesome incident occurred in the early hours of December 9th. The complaint states shortly after 5:45 a.m. because, yeah, that's when all domestic disputes happen, is when you have to wake up in the morning or you have to get some rest. A witness identified in the filing only as JH got out of the shower and heard yelling outside. When JH looked out the window, he saw Carmona Cartagena tussling with the 41-year-old Chad Wilson. The complaint states JH said it initially looked like Wilson was on top of Carmona Cartagena hitting her, but she realized things were the other way around when she observed Carmona. Oh, you said she. You done already gave up half her identity. but she, this little lady horrifies me, and you gonna things were the other way around when she observed Carmona Cartagena pulling Wilson and dragging him. Now, if you're looking out the window and you see that going, go shit. Holy smokes. Carmona Cartagena later told police she and Wilson met on Facebook a week or two earlier, according to the complaint. They got together for the first time on December 8th and spent approximately 24 hours together, the complaint explains, which says that while hanging out, they drank some alcohol and did drugs, including cocaine. Oh, cocaine. It's always a party until you run out of it, but it's not a party until you get more of it. But somewhere along the line, things took a dark turn. At Wilson's house, Carmona Cartagena was putting a lighter and cups on the tables, which angered Wilson, says the complaint, as a cokehead, which would anger any cokehead, you moving things around. She didn't like that he was being aggressive, so she asked him to drive her home. Fair enough, party's over. Before we get into an argument, I just want to go home. Okay, there's nothing wrong as of yet. Right on the way, Wilson stopped and told her to get out. The complaint alleges, I think that might have did him. That might have sealed his fate. Carmona Cartagena was not happy because she had a big bag of clothing that she would have to carry home. It says she then took a knife out of her purse, chased Wilson across the street, and allegedly stabbed him 3 times in the leg and abdomen before Wilson. How did she find a knife in that big bag of clothes she allegedly had before Wilson was able to get the knife away from Carmona Cartagena? This sounds like a horror movie. As Wilson was screaming for help, Carmona Cartagena walked over and kicked him in the face. This is a 5 foot woman in the face while he was on the ground like a dog. JH told us, why, yo, the neighbor is still watching this shit. I would be scared. I would be scared that angry, diminutive Spanish woman would look over and see me peeking out the blinds, and next thing you know, she's knocking on my door. The fuck out of here. Complaining that Cartagena then explaining that Carmona Cartagena then got into Wilson's black Cadillac SUV and drove at Wilson, seemingly trying to hit him with the car, states the complaint. Wilson managed to hide behind a tree, according to JH. We would love for him to make it out of this story alive, wouldn't we? Who estimated Carmona Cartagena hit Wilson with the car 3 or 4 times. JH said that Carmona Cartagena then drove around the block, spent the block, and hit Wilson again, says the complaint. JH described multiple times that Carmona Cartagena ran over Wilson even after driving around the block or through neighbors' yards. Wow. JH said that ultimately she saw Carmona Cartagena run over Wilson's neck and head. Officers placed Carmona Cartagena under arrest, after which she made several unsolicited statements. The complaint continues. I know why I hit him for my safety, but I was hoping that he was still okay, not after you ran him over like 5 times. You hit him 5 times with one of the biggest cars America makes. Carbona Cartagena told first responders, claiming she ran over Wilson because he was going to pull a gun on her. Carmona Cartagena allegedly admitted grabbing Wilson's car keys as he lay bleeding on the ground, then getting back into his SUV and driving towards him. This sounds like someone who's thinking. This is not someone who's frantic. This is someone who's thinking. She stated that she missed a couple times and was finally able to hit him in the street. Don't you think that might have been the universe after you missed that once, twice? That's something telling you that maybe this is not what you want to do. According to the complaint, she saw he was still moving after she ran him over the first time. So she ran him over a few more times to make sure he was dead. She stated she ran him over the first time to kill him. She knew that he had numerous opportunities to just drive away. Exactly, but she thought he was a gang member and had access to guns and would come and retaliate. Jesus. If you thought that was even a remote possibility of how the night may have even played out in even the slightest, why would you even agree to hang out with this guy? Oh, yeah, cocaine. An autopsy determined Wilson's death to be homicide caused by blunt force trauma. Nobody can predict the future. Like nobody knew it was going to end up like that. But I'm pretty sure there was a hell of a lot more ways to make sure that it didn't end up like this. With you running over somebody like 5 times. Jesus Christ. Next up, shout out to Shamika for finding me on YouTube and immediately becoming a pain in my side. Wasting no time. Robert deposits stolen money into same bank's ATM. A fool and his money will soon part ways. So if the whole point is to get the money out of the bank, then why once you get the cash, getting the cash is great because cash is still, even in 2021, cash is still a lot harder to track than credit card and debit card and ATM transactions. So you just took the money from the bank and literally gave it right back to the same bank. A busted bank robber is accused of holding up a Delaware Wells Fargo bank, then using that bank's ATM to stash the loot in his account in your account, dude, before making his getaway. Delaware State Police say the caper unfolded when Mick Roberts Williams slipped a note to a 25-year-old teller demanding cash around 11:20 a.m. Saturday in Wilmington. The bank teller complied and gave the suspect an undisclosed amount of cash. Police said, and I always say, easiest part is getting in and getting the money. The hard part is getting away. What's your end game? How are you going to get out of there with the money? He got out of there with the money. He came and gave it right back. A fool in his money. The the suspect fled the bank on foot, and once inside, he made a deposit in the ATM on the exterior. So he didn't even leave the premises. He just went around the corner to the ATM on the side. After fleeing the crime scene, McRoberts allegedly hid behind a nearby shopping center where law enforcement officers located the California man and took him into custody. He looks like he was a couple points from riding a short bus in school. Oh God, McRoberts Williams deposited his ill-gotten gains, cops said. Does he get time off for at least giving the money back, whether it was like whether he did it on purpose? or not. The suspect was charged with second-degree robbery. Bond was set at $6,000. Fun show. Fun show. Fun show. That being said, I am going to wrap this one up, but I will talk to you guys very, very soon. Adios.